It's time for a review of Lightwork, the new album from the strapping young lad himself, Devin Townsend. I think before listening to any Devin Townsend record, you need to be prepared for the unexpected. With that in mind, my name is Wild from Wild Wild Southwest Child. Let's get straight to the review! Devin Townsend described the album as clean, powerful and snowy with some orange bits. Okay. I don't know about that, but the tone of the opening track makes me think of Gorillaz' Demon Days. It sounds quite early industrial, a bit krautrocky, which is definitely a word. I love Devi's vibrato in his clean singing. He's such a good singer. The building harmonies are stacked very well here, just before the music guitar comes in as the song moves into something of a stadium rock sound. Considering most of what I know from Devin Townsend is from his work in Strapping Young Lad and the Devin Townsend Project, this really shows his versatility when it comes to songwriting and performance. In true Devi style, he loves to throw curveball after curveball at us. He just can't help it. The chorus is very dramatic, operatic and orchestral, which perfectly counterbalances the softer singer-songwriter verses, with both being in contrast to the section with his belted fly screaming. By the way, there's also birdsong and a spoken word sample. If you're after an emotional rollercoaster, you've got it right here. Whenever I see the word equinox, I think of Jean-Michel Jarre, and maybe the title here is a nod to exactly him, as the intro tune is a beeping synth sound a la Jean-Michel Jarre. But it takes only seconds to change from an all-encompassing distorted guitar riff, which just as quickly falls back away. Devi, you tease. He isn't trying to deafen us with a constant wall of sound. Strapping Young Lad did that for us. But he uses a lot of dynamics and a variety of textures, even across the course of a single song, which really makes these pieces flow rather than just play. Do I hear a U2 influence here? Nothing bombastic, just a straightforward, decent song. I can see this as a lull in the album for some people, but for me it's just an intermission from all of the insanity of the last quarter of an hour. I am loving his use of synths in this album. It gives a wonderfully modern, polished feel, but at no point takes away from the human, organic heart and soul that went into this production. Old school rockers will probably be annoyed that the guitar has taken something of a back seat compared to what Devin Townsend normally releases. However, it's still there. Every song has some kind of guitar riff, just not as prominent as one would expect from a six-string virtuoso such as Devi. Devi, mate, your experimentation puts us to shame. I tried a similar approach in some of my music in the past, which I detail in an upcoming video actually, so please hit subscribe and check it out when it's uploaded next week. We've definitely got something of a darker tone here. A nice driving synth bass, a churning 4/4 drum beat, very industrial. Some 9 Inch Nails influences here, I'll bet. I feel as if this was a missed opportunity to go a bit heavier on the production though, although Devin Townsend did say so himself that a lot of this was inspired from ambient music. It's pretty cool to hear all of these different influences from a range of genres throughout the album, and they aren't just throwaway sections, they fit really well with the album. Seriously, he's the man of 1,000 voices and styles, the Mel Blanc of music. There is a lot going on in these songs. This one, despite having dozens of layers of music, is perhaps a little plodding when all's said and done. There's plenty of soaring strings and the drums maintain a more or less constant 4 on the floor. I imagine it was a very satisfying song to sing, but I felt like I was waiting for it to go somewhere it never actually went. There is a cheeky little guitar solo, which is good. This one starts with a baby gurgling. Very strange. Very Devi. Again, a softer number with good use of dynamics. Female and child vocals making an appearance, something I know Devi has included before. I love the little dakata mouth percussion for all of 1 second here. Wow, okay, a bit of indie rock. This is very unexpected. It immediately puts me in mind of this other band called Indigo Wild. Very good band, you should check them out. Devi's soft singing is so pleasant to listen to. Again, some Gorillaz vibes, except this time it's less Demon Days and more Plastic Beach. I think this is a song literally about wanting to go on holiday. The album started during lockdown, so I'm taking this piece exactly as what it says it is. There has definitely been an overriding ethereal feeling throughout this album, from the angelic vocal choir and heavily reverbed synths to the sweeping legato strings and general lyrical themes of space and heaven. A rolling snare keeps the beat in this piece, putting me in mind of a large crowd moving in unison. The military feeling expands into his instrument choices, with what I think is a brass section joining the string stabs. Might just be another synth. Sounds like the Edge popped back during the outro. By the way, the outro is like 3 minutes long. This is definitely the kind of album where you shut the curtain, sit back and just let it envelop you. I see what he means now when he said it's clean, powerful and snowy with some orange bits. If you're after blast beats, gentle, guttural screaming, you're in for disappointment. The variety makes this a pleasure to experience, as Devi reins in the weirdness just enough to keep it sounding intentional and cohesive, but chaotic enough that it feels like we've been taken on a journey with him. Overall, a very immersive experience. I give this 9 angelic choir pads out of 10.